Warning, this video contains spoilers from Thronebreaker for the parts in Angren. Gernichora. If you thought the swamps of Valen were bad, you haven't seen Angren yet. Often referred to as one of the most treacherous regions of the continent, many tried to settle here, but none lasted. Because whatever they did, the evil that lurks in Ysgith was a constant threat. Within Ysgith dwells Gvearn Ichaer, the bloody mistress, Gernichora. For centuries she has lived in these lands. No one is quite sure what she is. Some see her as a fallen goddess, others as a cursed princess, and some just see her as an ordinary monster. There are several legends surrounding her origin. The humans living in Angren believe that she was a princess who was on her way to wed one of the sons of King Cedric of Temeria. Her retinue ran adrift in Angren. Once they got swallowed by the swamps of Ysgith, she managed to grab onto a tree root as she screamed for help. However, no one heard her, because there was the living soul for miles. As she was holding on to the roots, leeches appeared, covering her body and sucking her dry till the last drop of blood. Because of the dark magic in Angren, and Ysgith specifically, she came back to life, because she was too disturbed to pass on. The elves, however, seem to have a different idea of what she was. They see her as a fallen goddess who has turned evil. Whatever she truly is, one thing is for sure: Gernichora is a monster. Her leeches cover the swamps of Angren, where monsters feed on her blood. However, when a monster consumes a leech containing her blood, she becomes able to control them. It makes them do what she wants. For centuries, the elves that lived in Angren had kept her in check. An elven tomb can be found within the south of Angren, which is said to be the final resting place of a great elven warrior. Along with the tomb, several things of interest can be found, like a statue of a woman with a hole where her face once was, hinting at a once worshipped figure that had turned in such a way that they wanted to destroy their likeness. Within the tomb there is an image of Gernichora, with her elven name, Gvearn Ichaer, written next to it. From this, it seemed like the elves managed to keep Gernichora under control once she showed her evil side. Most likely, after the warrior fell, they had left Angren, seeing it as too big of a threat to live there. As well as the Temerians, who wanted to take the land and build Tuzla Castle there. Once the elves left, there was one last group that tried to keep Gernichora under control: the Cat 2 Druids. They, however, weren't able to keep Gernichora contained.
Corruption flows from Ysgith. It's there an evil lurks.
The peasants in Angren started to worship the bloody mistress, and slowly she became more and more powerful. During the Second Northern War, when Nilfgaard invaded the north, they also went to Angren. Here, they found the Druid circles. The Druids, however, refused to aid them, and in turn, the Nilfgaardians destroyed their stone circle. Seeing it as their last remaining tie to the land, they decided to leave as well, wanting to have never to go back, because of the growing evil in Ysgith. And thus, once the Druids left, there was no one to protect the lands from Gernichora. Her worshippers were cruel. They took their livestock and tied them to a large stone obelisk in a clearing in the swamp. Here they made shallow cuts in their skin, slowly letting them bleed to death as an offer to Gvearn Ichaer. During their reign, Nilfgaard decided that they should deal with this monster, and therefore did what anyone would do: hire a witcher. Ivo of Belhaven, a witcher from the School of the Bear, was hired by Nilfgaard to kill Gernichora. He ventured into the swamps of Ysgith and managed to get pretty close to Gernichora's location. However, there were too many monsters, and he got injured. Here he came across an unexpected ally, Queen Meave of Lyria and Rivia, along with her soldiers, who were fleeing from the Nilfgaardians who were pursuing them.
Hang on. You mean to tell me you've led your force into Ysgith and don't even know what lives here?
I believe I was clear. We're not here by choice.
Yeah, but now that you are here, it'll take a minor miracle to get you out. Ysgith swamps, realm of a truly dangerous being. Elves call it Gvearn Ichaer, the Bloody Mistress. Over generations, locals twisted the name until it became Gernichora.
He discussed the nature of Gernichora with Meave and gave her advice on how to deal with Gernichora before he left to get better prepared for the fight, since he had underestimated it. Ivo was convinced that Gernichora was just a monster, and not what the elves and humans thought she was. He described her as a kind of a vampire, but instead of sucking blood, she had her blood sucked. She continued to hang the leeches on trees and branches, so that other monsters can feed on them.
They're parasites, right? She puts them on her body, feeds them her own blood, then hangs them on shrubs and trees.
Ugh, to what end?
To other monsters, they're delicacies. Sweet, juicy, full of Gernichora's blood. Irresistible. Any beast that tastes that loses its mind, turns into Gernichora's slave.
Even though he didn't get close enough to her, his final bit of advice to Meave was to attack her when she's feeding the leeches, because then she was at her weakest. As well as to burn her corpse, to make sure she was truly dead.
As far as monsters go,
he said, lips curling into an unpleasant smile.
witchers aren't usually wrong.
As they parted ways, Meave and her soldiers were forced to go further into Ysgith to confront Gernichora in order to escape from the Nilfgaardians. And once they finally met, Gernichora was killed.
Of the battle in Ysgith, Meave remembered very little. It seemed a nightmare, its details a haze, the sensations very real. Midst a thick fog, she fought in a frenzy, desperately hacking at the scourge that advanced from all sides. In the end, silence fell over the swamp. Its boiling waters lay calmed. The ticks and leeches were gone, while Gernichora lay among rotting leaves, covered in blood, unmoving. But still a fearsome sight.
Meave personally burned the body, because even though it was dead, her soldiers were still afraid. And that was how, after centuries of terror, the reign of the Queen of Ysgith had come to an end. That was it for Gernichora, the Bloody Mistress. If you want more Witcher lore, subscribe and like the video. Till the next video. Bye.